Her mother, Leonora of Scotland, taught her that life was all about choices. Life provided opportunities for everyone, from the rich to the poor, and choices determined one's path in life. Jennifer McManus believed she had a special destiny, a calling to protect and defend the rights of the people of the United Kingdom. As a child, she was always the first to volunteer for charity events, the look of joy in the eyes of the unfortunate making the holidays truly special. She chose the happiness of others over the pageantry of the aristocracy, and the humility of the young princess was not overlooked by her people or the world press. When she entered high school, she became even more involved in humanitarian causes. Poverty, unemployment, and women's issues were her main concerns, and she wrote essays and made public appearances wherever possible to promote her agendas. Many of her works were published in newspapers and magazines around the world, and the young scholar was acclaimed by humanitarian groups the world over for her tireless efforts. Her celebrity was not lost on members of the British monarchy. Prince Conrad of England had become infatuated by the beautiful girl's looks as well as her intelligence and charisma. Though he was 9 years her senior, he proposed marriage to her, and she readily accepted. She was smitten by the dapper though homely-looking man, knowing that marrying into the royal family would be a life-changing event for her. The wedding made headlines around the world, and it appeared to be made in heaven. Yet the fissures began to appear when the tabloids started rumours that Conrad was still making overtures to his ex-girlfriend, Lady Sarah Hepburn. The prince vehemently denied it, though his personal life suffered another trauma soon afterward. His great-uncle, Lord Leighton, was killed by an Irish Republican Army bombing attack in London. A reporter overheard a grieving Conrad referring to the Irish as pigs at the funeral. It created a scandal that was exacerbated by Lady Hepburn's personal attempts to console the prince. Jennifer made a public statement disclaiming any animosity towards the Irish by the royal family, which was perceived as much as a rebuke to Conrad, as a reaction to the controversy surrounding the royal couple. Her efforts to protect and defend her husband was seen as just another of her noble causes. The prince's inferiority complex was near legendary. He tried to make up for his less-than-average looks and his undeserved privilege by establishing a reputation as a ladies' man and dabbling in extreme sports. Though he distanced himself from Lady Hepburn, he was seen with other women at London night spots, and thrilled the media with attempts at hang-gliding and skydiving. It was not long before the unthinkable happened, and Conrad was killed in a speedboat accident that left the royal family and the United Kingdom in shock and grief. Jennifer began devoting her efforts to mending relations with the Irish nation, which had been caught up in a mortal struggle between Loyalists and Republicans in Northern Ireland for nearly half a century. She began meeting with both sides, in an effort to bring them together for peace talks in ending the troubles at last. At first she was denounced as a do-gooder and meddler, but those who met her began to realise her intentions were sincere. She immersed herself in research on the conflict, and soon impressed representatives on both sides with her acumen. Eventually she was accepted as a legitimate mediator, and was soon engaged in phone talks with the American president in the international peace effort. The turning point came when representatives of the outlawed Irish Republican Army were invited to negotiations, along with their political branch, Sinn Féin. They would be scheduled to meet with loyalist emissaries, as well as a contingency from the British government led by Princess Jennifer. It would set a precedent in recognising the IRA as a combatant force instead of a terrorist group, which would be a breakthrough in securing prisoners' rights and establishing their legitimacy as a military organisation.